I'm Linnie Cain Herpin. I'm a mother of 7 children. I think it's 23 grandchildren and 19 great-grandchildren or something like that. I wouldn't leave anybody out. I remember playing in the backyard. We lived in a little house that used to be where Mom and Daddy's house is now. It was a little further over, and it was, like a fourth of the size. And we played in the backyard with my little brothers, and I remember one time I got the measles, and so they were outside playing. Buster and Willie were. That's the only ones that were there then, and I was looking through the window and crying because I wanted to go outside and play, and I couldn't go to play. So anyway, that, and then when we moved to California when I was 11, I do remember it was just such a new thing. We moved to Arizona first, and we stayed there about 3 months. And when we walked into the general store there was an actual Indian sitting on steps, and had the long braids and everything. And I thought that was the first time I'd ever seen an Indian. I didn't know there were Indians all around us here, but they just didn't dress like Indians. So I didn't know that they had that heritage. So anyway, I was so excited to see a real Indian. And we got to go look all around and go to these places in the desert where they filmed a lot of the Western movies. And some of them stayed at Aunt Sally's. It was like a little village of little cottages. And they would rent the cottage when they were making the Western movies out there. So, we were all in there, and I was really excited. And then we moved to California, and I remember going to the beach. And the beach, you have to drive up high. It's on a cliff. You go down a little path to the sand down there. It's not just like going to Florida where the beach is just there. You have to go down you have to park at the top and go down the little paths to the beach, So that was beautiful. I remember when my mama had Myrna, my other little brothers, but I was about 13 when she was born, and oh my God, I was so excited. I couldn't go to the hospital because I had to stay with the other kids. And anyway, but I was so excited to have Myrna as a little sister. And then 4 years later, I had Mary Helen, so they were just, all I had was little brothers before. Well, I met Paul when I was 16 and when I was 17, I guess. My great-grandmother lived across the street from where Paul lived, one house over across the street. And I went and stayed with her one whole summer. But I left on Friday afternoon, and I came back on Monday morning. So I'd spend the weekend at home. Well, Paul was going to school at UL, and he would leave on Friday afternoon. He would come back on Friday night, and he would leave Sunday afternoon. So I never met him there. And it was like directly across the street, but one house over. Never saw him. And I went to UL, and I commuted on the commuter bus because they didn't have the money to stay in the dorm. And I rode the commuter bus, and I actually met Paul in the student union at UL. And, we dated a few times, and I fell in love head over heels with my husband. Oh, the wedding was really beautiful, I thought. I don't remember a whole lot because I was too nervous. But I remember Mama and her cousins making this 3-tier cake. It was really 3 or 4 tier, I don't remember. And it was beautiful, and they had ordered the roses from Chicago, the little sugar roses from Chicago, and they really did a beautiful job. So and it was delicious. The cake was really delicious. And we had so much food and everything. We had a huge wedding. It was a lot of people. I have no idea how many, but I know there was a lot of people. And we really had a wonderful time, It was beautiful. Then we went to the Monteleone in New Orleans for a honeymoon. And that was really nice. It was a beautiful hotel, and there was a carousel bar which kind of went around in the Monteleone while you're sitting on it, drinking. Very, very slow, but I'd never seen anything like that. You know, it was like country come to town, you know, and I mean, it really was, you know, beautiful. And I remember that my cousin, Winona, bought a pretty outfit for me, and my mama St. Gladys, who lived across the street from Randy, bought me 2 beautiful outfits, one to wear for my going away suit, and then another outfit to have on my honeymoon. So I really had the beautiful things. I was so excited.
Awesome.
Just so excited about my pretty new clothes and my wedding dress I borrowed from a friend of my mama's. And Sonia Mallet, I think, was the girl's name who had it. And she had gotten married maybe 8 or 10 years before, whatever. But the wedding dress was beautiful.
Awesome.
So I was just really blessed. We really didn't, we had one of those hurricanes or whatever, but we couldn't drink it. We just couldn't get alcohol too much. I remember years later we went to the Catfish Hole on the Sunset Highway, and we had the fried catfish, and we got a pitcher of beer. And we drank it. We were sick for 3 days. We don't do good with alcohol, so we just didn't fool with it much. Besides my husband, my children were my greatest joy. Actually, even more than my husband. I don't want to knock him or anything, but when you hold a child in your arms and you know that is your child, it's just God's greatest, most beautiful gift in the world. It is the most beautiful gift. So I was so blessed. I had 1 miscarriage between my first 2 children, and I was blessed to have any children, because when I first got married, I had a lot of female problems all my teenage years. And my doctor, I went to this specialist in Dallas, and he told me that I would never be able to have children ever. And I guess I proved him wrong.
And then some.
I did. But my children are my greatest joy. And today, their children, it's like your love just intensifies. My grandchildren, like you, Lane, I mean, I'm so much in love with my grandchildren. They're just the most wonderful gift. Your children are your greatest gift, and your grandchildren are your next greatest gift. Your great-grandchildren are the next greatest gift. It just goes on down the line. God He doesn't stop, you know. He doesn't make it not wonderful anymore. He just continues on. And the more you have, the greater the joy. Well, Randy was the sweetest little big brother. I can remember when I had to go to the dentist, and I had a lot of trouble, a lot of dental problems all my life. But anyway, I had to go to the dentist, and Randy was working, my husband was working, and so I had to take Randy and William and Dion, remember I had 3 of them at that time, to the dentist. And little Randy sat there, and he was a big brother and helped me watch the kids while I was having my mouth operated on or whatever. So but he was always a good big brother. William was a cute little baby, and I felt bad for the other kids, because if I bring him somewhere, people would stop and they would tell me how cute he was. But they wouldn't say anything about the other kids, and I'm thinking, look, in my heart, they're all precious. You know, they're all my children, and he was a pretty little baby, but he wasn't any cuter to me than all the others. They were all beautiful, all of them. So he was a challenge at times, but he finally has come around that, and we have a very nice, close relationship. And Randy is a very good kid and never gave me any problems. And then Dion was precious too. He was real. He moved around a lot. He did a lot of things. He was kind of fast at stuff too. So he was a good kid too, just precious. And then Andre's the middle child, and oh my God, he was my 4th little boy. But he was so cute, and all my kids were so lovable. I just, once I had my children, I couldn't ever think about not having my children. All of them, each one fit in perfectly. Then when we had John, I remember we'd had all the boys, and then we had John. We had 4 boys, and then we had John. And I remember at the hospital, the pediatrician walked in, and he had been a pediatrician for all of my other boys, and he said, "I can't believe it. We finally did it. It's a girl," because it was just pink from wall to wall. Everything was pink. Everybody had brought gifts and stuff. And then we had her, and then we got Meredith after John, and so we had 2 little girls that were just wonderful to have. And then our baby Brandon, little baby, he's so sweet too. I just felt like he kind of I didn't get to spend as much time with him as a baby as I did with some of the other kids, because it was real tight, and I had to go back to work early, but all my kids, I just cannot even imagine life without my children. I've spent most of my time in banking, and I love people, so I enjoy getting out and seeing the people too. But I would really have preferred to stay home with my babies, with my children, and be a good mother. But I guess, that road wasn't picked out for me, so, I had to do something else. But anyway, I did have, most of the jobs I had I really enjoyed. And then I got into real estate for a while, and I enjoyed that too. And I went to work for a plastics company in Rain, and I got to go on trips like twice a year or something. We'd go to a trade show, and that was a lot of fun. I had gone with Randy to one years before, and I thought it was great. But he would usually go, and I couldn't go with him. But I enjoyed that, and every time I did that, Randy would let the kids have a big wild party at home, because he knew I probably wouldn't have wanted him to have but they cleaned it up and everything before I got there. I didn't know for years after that. He was kind of sneaky like that with the kids. He couldn't say no, ever. I had to be the mean machine. I had to do all the discipline because he didn't know how. Had a lot of fun too working in the jewelry store. My very first job when I was in high school, I worked in a jewelry store. I enjoyed that, and then I went back after staying banking a long time, and worked in marketing. But I went back to the jewelry store for like 17 years. I worked in morning bags, and I loved it because it's fun to, you go to work every day, and they pay you to play with all this beautiful jewelry. It was so much fun. Well, I'm happy to be here today with my grandson. And I'm just so proud. I'm so proud of all of my kids, all of my grandchildren, all of my great-grand. I have so much pride in my heart, in not bad pride, but good pride in my heart for all of my children's and my grandchildren, all of their success and achievements that make in their lives. Just everyone is just like a bright star for me. I have my kids running around with their stars all over the place. They're shining everywhere. So that's what makes me happy too. That probably more than almost anything else is my family. I'm so blessed, baby. And I like to go to the casino sometimes, but I don't say I'm happy to go over there. But I like to go shopping, that kind of thing. So and I love to go to garage sales and estate sales. Now that's when I'm really happy too, Besides being with my kids, and you don't have time to spend with them, or you take them with you, or they take you with them to go to garage sales and estate sales. That's fun. I love that. When I was younger, my brother and I had to do all the clothes. Mama would wash them and dry them, but clothes had to be ironed. So you had to wash them, then you had to starch them, then you had to sprinkle them, and then you had to iron them. And it took so long to prepare the clothing that we wore every day. And I would get so mad at my little brothers because they had a big closet with all these shirts hanging, and they would take that off, take one down, all starch and iron. Okay, the whole thing was full of starch and iron clothes. Put it on, and it's around like that. Throw it on the floor and start over. And do that maybe 3 or 4 shirts for the fun one they liked. And so then it was to wash, starch, and iron again. Boy, I'd get so mad at it for that. But I'll keep them because I wouldn't have had any, I wouldn't have traded my brothers for anything. So. Maybe. Well, I appreciate this, and I want you to, something I want to say is that I love my family. And you'll always be my family no matter where I am, whether I'm here or hopefully up in heaven one day. You'll always be my family, and you'll always have my love. Each one of you has my heart. And you just carry it with you forever because it'll never leave you. All my kids and my grandkids and my great-grandkids and on down into eternity. You're my family, and you've made my life beautiful.
You made ours a lot more beautiful, Mom.
Oh, baby, you're prejudiced, but that's okay. I'll keep you. My name is Linnie Faye Cain Herpin. And I'm a mother, a wife, a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother. And those positions in my life have been the greatest joy to me in this world. And I love my family. Thank you.
Well, I am surprised. Oh, she hot. Oh, I can see that. That's cute. Who's that? Vanessa with me. Dion. These guys are dragging. Give me that. Stop looking at that. No, I didn't have it. They canceled it. I have it after I didn't know that. Yeah, I smelled it. We got 2-year option. Who y'all listening with, Dion? Who? Hubbard. I like it. Yeah. Well, next time we know. What happened? This is what you want. This is what you want.
And we both still have to open them all at once. He said it wasn't his, why didn't you give it to Jean? Jean or
Brandon, get Andre, please.
This is yours. This is yours.
Came back for maybe 2 days.
Daddy gave her a bean. I like beans. She wants to feed Lauren.
Oh, you feeding Lauren, Victoria?
She don't want to eat.
I don't know how she ate 2 bowls of cereal with her daddy this morning, then about a half an hour later she ate 2 packs of oatmeal. Just for breakfast.
No, look at that.
I want them boogaloo.
Hello, girls. Good job. Hey, Ian. They have Hawaiian music.
That's what I'm saying.
That's like Social Security. Social Security should be the richest program there is on earth. You know, in the United States.
Say cheese, Lauren.
Still got the machine from. That's what I thought.
I'm showing your mama this. Look at my water. Ian.
How much more we gotta go? How much is on there? You got 436 sections, the third quarter, then you got another quarter. 12 more minutes after that. Wait.
I'm showing your mama, girl.
And Casey in here.
We go get a ride.
Mr. Man.